All right, now new and fascinating developments tonight in the Biden open borders crisis as failing D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, she's now claiming that illegal immigrants are crowding D.C. homeless shelters. She's upset about it, and she claims they're being tricked into hopping on buses to our nation's capital. She's upset about it. Take a look.
This is a very significant issue. We have for sure called on the federal government to work across state lines to prevent people from really being tricked into getting on buses. We think they're largely asylum seekers who are going to final destinations that are not Washington, D.C. I worked with the White House to make sure that FEMA provided a grant to a local organization that is providing services to folks. But I fear that they're being tricked into nationwide bus trips when their final destinations are places all over the United States of America.
Translation, she doesn't want them in our nation's capital. You might remember Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He has been standing up to Biden's border disaster and lawlessness. And yep, he's busing the migrants right to Biden's doorstep in D.C. Now, maybe Muriel Bowser will now get a glimpse of what border communities in South Texas have been dealing with every single day. And the Texas governor and every other border state governor needs to now do the same thing. Bus every single illegal immigrant aided and abetted by Joe Biden, who's not enforcing federal law, and send them right out to Washington, D.C. Send them all to Washington, D.C. Here with reaction, author of Battle for the American Mind, which is still on the New York Times bestseller list. Our friend Pete Hegseth also landed #1 on the list. And, of course, former Trump Treasury official Monica Crowley. Pete, I love it. She's saying, we don't want them. It's too expensive. And then she added, on top of that, she goes, and by the way, no, local taxpayers should not be forced to pay the bill for this. Every other border state has been paying the bill and dealing with this problem because Joe Biden is aiding and abetting the lawbreaking.
And right after that sentence, Sean, she said, we need a coordinated federal response. You think? Maybe on our border to protect that border? You know, I've been wanting Greg Abbott to declare an invasion, which gives constitutionally the state of Texas additional powers. And I downplayed what he was doing on busing illegals to D.C. I think I was wrong on that. The cumulative effect of the amount of people who've landed in D.C. Heck, let's send them to Delaware as well. And they're not being tricked. They're being asked. They're volunteering to go to Washington, D.C. as a result. Now they're flooded and swamped. And she's admitting what we always knew about big city leftists, elitists. Oh, you know, we welcome migrants and illegals as long as they're in someone else's backyard, not ours. They're flooding our services. What do you think Texas and Arizona and New Mexico and Oklahoma, what do you think those states are facing? It's one of the best examples we've seen yet of the complete double standard they live in. She said it on TV for us.
Yeah, to me, it's the perfect strategy because it's the only thing that has finally gotten a Democrat's attention. So I think we institutionalize it, and I agree with Pete's point on the declaration for Governor Abbott, Monica, but I think we ought to send everyone. As a matter of fact, I think Texas, they ought to suck it up, give every illegal immigrant getting on that bus an incentive, maybe $50 per person. So that when they get to D.C., at least they have, maybe they get a good night's sleep, get some food, and enjoy the beautiful capital led under D.C. Mayor Bowser.
I would add, Sean, to the $50. I would also give each of them directions to Nancy Pelosi's home, Muriel Bowser's home, the White House, Capitol Hill, so they can go park themselves
but Monica,
right there.
now you're doxing like the left is doxing Supreme Court justices. You want to give out the addresses of elected officials?
Well, you know, apparently the White House and AOC and other Democrats are perfectly fine with that. So this is their rules, right? Sean, we're playing by their rules. They laid it out, so we're going to play the same game. Look, the border states like Texas and Arizona have had it with the invasion. This is a criminal invasion, not just of those states, but of the entire country. And those governors have decided that they've had enough. Their people have had enough. They've borne the brunt of the criminal activity, the invasion, the cartel. cartels, the influx of drugs like fentanyl into those states, and they're saying we're enough. So we are going to now inflict the consequences of Washington, D.C.'s actions onto those in Washington, D.C. by dumping them right on the doorstep. I would actually take it a step further. Governor Ron DeSantis has actually talked about if any of those illegals come to Florida, he's going to move them to Delaware and dump them on the street of Joe Biden's house. Or Ted Cruz had another good idea, which is ship them to Martha's Vineyard and put them on Barack Obama's front lawn. You will see the Democrats switch gears like that, because you know what, Sean? The biggest split in the country is between the ruling class and everybody else. The ruling class that makes all of these catastrophic decisions that the rest of us have to live with. And those governors in those border states are saying enough, and I think it's long past time and good for them.
All right, yes or no, I'll ask both of you the same question. Because liberals, for example, on money and financial issues, they're always generous with other people's money, taxpayer money. What about a liberal adopt an asylum seeker program that we could maybe as conservatives fund for liberals, and they can adopt an asylum seeker that's in the country illegally and they can live with them, starting with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and company? Would that be a good idea, Pete?
Yes. Tell me where to send the money, Sean.
Okay. Well, with all the books you're selling, being #1 on the New York Times, you're rich now, so you'll have plenty. Monica, last word.
No, look, I agree. It's time that those of us who are bearing the brunt of all of these catastrophic policies mirror the other side and make them live with the consequences that they're inflicting on the rest of us.
This is like divine justice. All of a sudden it happens to them. The first reaction is, this is outrageous. We can't have this. We need to stop this. We can't afford to pay for this. You pay for this. This is what Texas, Arizona, all these border states have been dealing with. Guys, good to see you both. Pete, congrats on the book.